Olivia, we are just seeing a statement from Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly. What is she saying?
Well, Hannah, we've been waiting all day for official word from the Government of Canada on the ICJ findings, and we finally have a statement to share with you right now from Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly, who starts by saying that Canada supports the ICJ's critical role in the peace settlement of disputes, so its work in these disputes, Hannah, and upholding the international rules-based order. A key part here, the statement goes on to say that our support of the ICJ does not mean we accept the premise of the case brought by South Africa, which is an accusation against Israel of genocide. And Joly goes on to say that it is up to ICJ to make a final decision. So Canada not weighing in on whether Israel is committing genocide, which of course the ICJ did not weigh in on today, Hannah, making a declarative statement on that. Joly goes on to say in her statement that Canada will continue to support Israel's right to exist and defend itself in accordance with international law, but goes on to say that this is not a one-sided conflict, that Canada remains deeply concerned about the scale of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, continues to support international work towards a sustainable ceasefire, and also condemns Hamas for its brutal attack on Israelis on October 7th. So we are hearing from the government on both sides of this conflict, the government trying to come down the line, really, to try to show that remain neutral in a sense by respecting the ICJ's work, but not making any determination about the findings or anything like that. And what the statement is missing, Hannah, is really what Canada plans to do going forward in terms of trying to perhaps persuade Israel to abide by these provisions by the ICJ. Now, we did hear from some Liberal MPs earlier who want to see, this work continue. They say they accept the ICJ's findings, and some MPs were even disappointed that the ICJ did not call for a ceasefire, even though it did urge Israel to prevent deaths in Gaza. Let's take a listen now to what those MPs had to say earlier before this official statement.
I respect the decision. It's a disappointment. I've been, since October 20th, publicly calling for a ceasefire along with some of my colleagues. So I think the solution to this conflict, from my humble perspective, has to be political. It will not be military. Thank you.
Yes. I think it's we need to respect the court's rulings.
What does that mean for Canada?
I mean, in my statement, I always said that it's that is a right forum to look into it, and whatever outcome is, we should render.
I think Canada is a signatory to ICJ. As a signatory, I think it's incumbent on Canada to convince Israel to make sure that they follow what has been said in regards to making sure that civilians are protected, in regards to making sure that humanitarian aid can get in there.
So Liberal MPs being cautious about how they respond to these findings today, Hannah. In that last clip from the MP, Salma Zaid, who is an MP of Scarborough in the Toronto area, she went on to say that Canada is known as a peacemaker and that it can bring international allies together. And this will be a key, perhaps, test for Canada going forward, how it, again, responds to these findings and what it really does and whether it tries to persuade Israel to comply with these provisions. Now, we're also hearing from NDP leader Jagmeet Singh. He posted on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, the X platform, and he called on the Prime Minister specifically to respect the ICJ decision and immediately urge Israel to comply with these provisional measures. And he went on, of course, Hannah, to call for a number of measures, to call for a ceasefire, more humanitarian aid, the release of hostages, and the end of weapons sales to Israel as well.
So, Olivia, there was a gathering today in Ottawa to mark tomorrow's Holocaust Remembrance Day. Israel's ambassador to Canada was there and spoke with reporters about today's ruling. Tell us what he had to say.
Well, he was asked a number of questions, Hannah, and what he did say is that Israel is defending itself against evil in his view, and that Israel, rejects this accusation from South Africa that it is committing genocide. So he was quite strong in his language. And what he did say is that Israel is defending itself and trying to ensure the release of all hostages, and that is why it continues to do what it is doing in Gaza. Now let's take a listen now to what that ambassador had to say.
Today's ruling is actually making very clear Israel is defending itself against evil. We have been conducting our actions according to the rule of law and according to the international law, according to international humanitarian law. This is what we've been doing, and this is what we'll continue to do.
Now, the Prime Minister and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre were also in attendance at this ceremony. They did not make any political statements, Hannah, and it doesn't appear that we are going to hear from the Conservatives about these findings today, and it's unclear if the Prime Minister will speak. But what I can tell you is that there are international groups that are putting pressure on Canada right now to compel Israel to comply with these provisions from the ICJ, including Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch.